The Prophet ﷺ had certain type of revelation from other angels, or in certain or in different type or different description, but the Quran al-Karim in particular, all of it was revealed by Sayyidina Jibreel in the way that it's mentioned in this hadith described by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sayyidina Jibreel also is responsible for punishment for any of those who are disobedient with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the one who is responsible to bring adab, bring punishment or torment down to these people. That's why Sayyidina Jibreel considered as one of Jalal or Mazhar al-Shiddah. Yani when you read the holy names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is Jalali, which is about torment or punishment or about hardship or difficulties, okay, for sure Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this asma is going to work. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the ability to have them work without anything, but out of His wisdom you have like servants of the angel to make this asma work and apply the action of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the people according to the orders and commands Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give to these angels. And the one of the the highest figure and the one who is responsible for this is Sayyidina Jibreel. I'll give you an example about it, about that person who killed 100 persons, and then he make repentance, and try to immigrate to another town, and he passed away on his way, and the Prophet ﷺ said there was a dispute between Malaikatul Rahmah, the angels of mercy, and Malaikatul Adab, the angels of punishment or torment, with whom this soul should be taken by whom. You see, this gives you an idea about the different way or different section of the angels. Okay, I'm not exaggerating if I said, same as the angel, we have different type of Jalal and Jamal. Again, among the prophets, you have different types of Jamal and Jalal. As the Prophet ﷺ said, we don't know, but the Prophet ﷺ told us, he gave an example about Jamal in the prophets like Sayyidina Ibrahim and Sayyidina Isa. He gave Jalal, like an example of Jalal in the prophets like Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Nuh. Again, among the companion of the Prophet ﷺ, again you have some of Jalali, some of Jamali. You have Sayyidina Abu Bakr as-Siddiq as Jamal, you have Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab as Jalali. Okay, even the scholars, even the Muslims, and even all creation, okay, all people, even the non-Muslim, you have some of them, they are easy to come through, they put themselves down, they have nice character. You have others who are Jalali, and you are going to be fearful of them or count or make a lot of counting, before speaking with them or whatever. Yani you face this in all of our matters. Even in our children sometimes, these come from the same parents, You may find difference in Jalal and Jamal in this particular matter. And this needs to be looked. This is not related to angels only. There's a very famous scholar who tried to make tafsir of Quran by looking at each verse by three different ways or three different aspects. He's going to give you what's the meaning of this verse from the Jamal point. Then he's going to give you the meaning of this verse from the Jalal point or scope, and then he's going to give you the meaning of it from the Kamal, the perfection point. To be honest with you, I'm not that good, This is exaggeration. How come, for each ayah? We feel some of these ayahs, they are quite obvious of Jamal. How come I can bring Jalal from it? And this experience happened with me. One of the famous ayah of the Jamal فَمَنْ تَبِعَنِي فَإِنَّهُ مِنِّي وَمَنْ عَصَانِي فَإِنَّكَ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. This said by Sayyidina Ibrahim, whoever follow me, he belongs to me. And whoever disobeyed me, you are merciful, most merciful, and forgiving him. Okay? When you look at this ayah, which contains a lot of Jamal, you see the Jalal in it. Why? Because this is a warning that the one who disobeys doesn't belong to him. And for anyone who is lover, you know, just to tell him you don't belong to you don't belong to the Prophet ﷺ, this may be to him, you know, torment or punishment much more than hellfire itself. You see? So here, when you go thoroughly, you are going to find, even in each verse, regardless of how Jalali is it, you are going to find some Jamal in it, and how Jamali is it, again, you vice versa. This is, will understand it, you know, because why? The Prophet ﷺ, he said, I have two ministers from the people of heaven and two ministers of the people of the earth. The two ministers of the people of heaven, Jibreel wa Mikael. This tells us that Sayyidina Jibreel of Jalali, because this mentioned by the Prophet Sayyidina Mikael Jamali. Okay, he takes care of the beauty of the things that we love like a lot. The thing that we feel easy, we rest to it, we relax with it. And namely, for example, Sayyidina Mikael is responsible for raining, provision. Why? Because in general speaking, this matter is some signs of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when he give or grant his slaves, you know, by provision or by rizq. That's why the Prophet ﷺ used to expose his holy body, you know, to the rain, saying that this is a newcomer from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should know this, that in the angels we have Jalali and Jamal. The ministers of the Prophet ﷺ from the earth, they were Abu Bakr and Umar. Okay, and he said ﷺ to them, if we are going to agree about certain issue, I'm not going to go against your consultation, but your matters, speaking to Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab, similar to the matters of the people of the heaven. They have a dispute all the time, you know, about those matters, how to be handled. Okay, so and this is mentioned in this. I told you about it in the hadith. Rather, it's mentioned in the surah. ما كان لي من علم بالملأ الأعلى فيما يختصمون. And this mentioned in the Quran that even the highest rank of the angels, they have dispute among themselves. This dispute for sure not for money, for marriage, for this or that. No, of applying the Jalal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or applying the Jamal of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala work in their behalf. They are sincere, too sincere and hard worker in their field, you know. They are too sincere and too honest to their field, you know, and they are going to serve it as well, to the extent that they are going to argue with the other or dispute with the other angels, you know, when sometimes someone try to behave otherwise or whatever. This is the point of dispute between the Mala al-A'la. Okay, and as I said, this is among the prophets, and this is among the companions, and this is among us, and this is among all human beings, without even perhaps all creation, not only human beings. Okay, here this tells us about if there's someone in the middle. Yes, in the angels, some scholars that say the one who is in the middle is Israfil.